Alright, so I decided to leave my job to go get a smoothie from Healthy Picks. Let me see, I got my phone. No, I got my wallet. Got the keys to come back in. We good. Alright. It's a chill day. There's only one coworker here today, so it seems pretty chill. I feel like one of my managers might come in today later on. That's something that she usually does. So yeah. Hold on. This is my outfit for today. The cardigan is my work cardigan. Always have it just in case of a cold day like today. So yeah, this is corporate. This is how I look as an accountant on a regular basis. Not regular, but you know what I mean? Just for the time being, you know. That's so funny. It's so funny that, you know, I dress like this and, you know, have a job like this, because there have been parts in my life when I would be just being myself and people would be like, oh, like, what do you do? And I tell them, like, back when I was in college, I would tell, like, I was an accounting major initially, and I would tell people this, and they were like, accounting? You don't give accounting at all. You're like fun. And it's so crazy to look back. And it's so crazy to look back on that time, because it's like, yeah, it never made sense, but it made sense. It was just definitely something that I can do, but it just doesn't make sense for my personality. Looking at it now, it's funny how I'd be mad at other people that I work with for being so boring, for not being, you know, that creative, not having a much of a fun life, but they're accountants, right? And they do that, and they've been doing that job for like 5-10 years. Like, I can't be upset at them for genuinely being like this, right? Like, that's how they're supposed to be like. And so I consider myself a bit of an anomaly of somebody who is a full-blown creative but can do the work of an accountant, of a financial advisor, of something that's more high caliber, business acumen. Like I have that a part of me, and I never want to get rid of that. But it's just kind of crazy when you have that duality, but the people around you don't, because it makes you feel so insane for being, you know, who I am. Like me, like a lot of the times I feel insane for thinking and believing and feeling the things that I do, because I don't really have a lot of people that I work with that kind of support that. It's like they look at me and they're more supportive of the things that I'm doing, but it's like I want to be around people who are doing other things too. It's like I don't just want to be a 9-to-5 worker, but some people just settle for that, and I'm just like, why? You know, but I do have to understand that some people are just like that, and it just throws me off. I'm currently going to Healthy Picks to get a smoothie, a green smoothie, and honestly, while I'm at it, I might as well get a sandwich from them, because you know what, today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday and it's payday, so might as well, you know, treat yourself. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But yeah, like, being somebody who feels like they were meant to be something bigger, and just being around an environment that doesn't really support that. Like, they support that, but in like a corporate climbing the ladder kind of way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, anytime they talk about growth, they're more so thinking about how you can grow your career and, you know, benefit the company and be a bigger asset for the company. But it's like, when I think about growth, I think mentally. I think the experience wise, you know, growing and becoming a person of a higher status in a more psychological way. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm becoming somebody who, you know, will grow mentally before I see any fruits of my labor, and that's what needs to happen. I'll just say it because it's on my mind, but I'm like legit in a trade right now, and I don't know how the outcome is, but I was scared. And this is not about everything, but you know, I be talking about trading, so it's so sad, you know, like I had this whole mental mindset that I'm gonna run it up today, but I'm honestly, now I'm so afraid because of how I reacted yesterday. And you know, I don't know how this trade is gonna go. I literally left the office, TP, stop loss is all set, and I don't know. I want it to win. I feel like it has a chance to win, but I didn't feel confident, and that's something that isn't a good thing, you know. So I think it's gonna be a loser because, you know, I wasn't confident about it, and I just wanted to maybe win. But it's something that I'm gonna have to work on in my future and just, you know, bounce back on and remind myself that I have to take it one day at a time, because this stuff does not happen overnight. I'm ordering right now, so, but I'm still gonna talk. It's just so disappointing when you've like been working hard for so long and you still feel like you do beginner mistakes. I'm trying to see, what should I get? I think I'm gonna get this. But yeah, I just feel so like, yo, I should be past this already, and stuff. I'm gonna say, please add a lot of mayo. I love mayo, bro. I'm just gonna caps it. Please add a lot of mayo. Okay, add that to order, and then I'm gonna get myself a smoothie. I'm gonna get myself a fruit smoothie. I was going against fruit smoothie or protein shake, but I don't really see anything other than the Mighty Mango that I'd want. I'm just gonna get a fruit smoothie today, and I'm just gonna get a large version because I usually get the small. So it was just like, you know what? Let me pop off. Let me get a large. Let me get a lot. You know, when you know you're about to get paid, it's easy to splurge. Alright, so I just put in my order. But yeah, man, I feel so, I have no way of checking because this phone that I'm recording on has no internet, and I literally just left my desk. It's nerving. It's because it's like, damn, you know, like, I probably lost. Like, you're feeling so, you know, feel so emotional. It's just like, okay, well, how can I bounce back? You know, I had so much confidence last week. I had so much confidence, and, you know, now it's shot. You know, I still believe in my strategy. I still believe in my setups, and that's why, you know, I know everything now is a lot different, because before I would be second guessing, oh, does this strategy make sense? But it's not the strategy. Like, it's definitely 100% me. And maybe how I'm looking at the markets, maybe due to fear or whatever, but I know that that's something that, you know, I just need to work on. And I'm happy about that, you know, knowing that the strategy doesn't need to change. It's just me. While that's the hardest part, that's also the best part, because I can change myself. I cannot change other factors, but I can change me anytime, every time, all points in my life. And so, you know, I'm just excited to have that as an option. And yeah, I'm really not trying to get into that emotional headspace where I feel like I need to start all over again. It's like, but I'm also, you know, I need to be patient with myself and just slow down. How about that? And, you know, take it by the chin and feel the losses, feel the pain, but also feel good about the fact that you're here, you know? And it doesn't matter how many orders or trades you take in a day. It's all about, like, did you risk? Did you risk wisely? Did you make the right choice? Even if you lost, was it a right choice? Like, do I feel good about the trade that I took today? Like, so far, it was a range setup. It made sense to me. It made sense. It was on the 10-minute, so it's a high probability zone. And I was just looking for a simple retracement. But the fear that where it comes in, am I too late into the move? Because the move that I was looking for kind of already happened, and I'm testing the level again to see if it's going to do it again. So it's one of those risks where I could go back to my office and see that price went up a little bit in my direction, but then it shot down because it was ranging, and now here's the breakout. That is the main thing that I am looking at, like, oh, like, I knew that. You know, I knew that it could happen. And, you know, market open, I don't even know what time it is, but market is close to opening. So, you know, I don't know. And it's still on my mind, and I can't neglect that. But I'm just trying to be better. I'm just trying to get my mental state in a much more manageable position. Again, everything is on demo, but my heart is still beating, baby. Like, I don't care. But yeah, I just feel so, like, honestly, I do feel sad because it was like, I wasn't feeling like this last week. I wasn't feeling like this the week before. I felt so good. I felt so confident. And now, today, honestly, I'll be honest, I don't feel that as much. But again, I still feel different because it's like, it's nothing to do with the strategy. Like I mentioned, it's all about me, and I just need to do better, and just be better and just be okay with losing and, not performing the best, because that's not how it's going to be every day. We have a high win rate. We back tested it over 100 times. We know that we are a winner. We know that we're a consistently profitable trader. So it's more so now we're just dealing with the losses and being able to combat that. And I'm happy that I'm on demo. I'll say that till the end of me. I'm happy that I'm on demo because now it doesn't feel, it still hurts, it still feels, but it's like, okay, I really didn't lose anything at the end of the day. And I mean, even though that's probably not the best mindset to have, because one day I will, just having that crutch is what's going to get me into, the profitable trader that I know that I am, the consistent profitable trader that I know that I am. It's just being able to blow my account like how I did yesterday. Yes, I did blow my account, and knowing that I can just start over again and being okay with that. So that's how it is today. If I lost that trade, I know that I feel so sad, and wish that I did better, but it's, guess what, drawdown is a necessary and normal thing of trading. It's all about how are you going to bounce back, how are you going to get yourself back. No one, once they start a new account, wants to start it off red, but that's a reality. So what are you going to do, right? Are you going to bend your rules and go crazy and start being emotional? Or are you going to be like, okay, I took a setup that I would take any other day and it lost. It's sad, it sucks. I'm not a robot, so I do feel it. But what, am I just going to quit? No, we're going to keep on going, get out of drawdown, and increase our account and watch that equity curve do its job, do its thing, So I just got to believe in myself. That's really the main joint of this one. But I just had to talk about that because, I know how I feel internally, and I don't want to sugarcoat. I don't want to gloss over and say that, oh, it's okay, it's fine, when I don't feel like that. So yeah, still waiting for my smoothie, still waiting for my sandwich. So yeah, I'll let you know. Okay, got my smoothie, still waiting for the food. Put that shit in, sir. Oh my god. Alright, thank you, have a good one.
You too.
We got the food, we got the smooth. Alright. I'm gonna take my time. What's the rush? Slow down. One day of trading does not determine your entire life of trading, man. It's so hard because you just want to be profitable. You just want to get payouts. You just want to start relying on the markets to pay your bills and have that time freedom that you always dreamed of, that that you can achieve. And it's the hardest battle that has the most reward once you finally get it. And I know that I was meant to be great. So I'm taking all this shit and I'm taking it in, and I still feel sad, and I want to cry, and I need to let go and just be the person that I know that I can be, that I know that I can become. But all that comes through me going through all of this adversity. I wouldn't be the same person if I got my way being any kind of person. Every loss, every L, every disappointment, every grabbing of the chest because my heart fucking is sinking in my body, like all of that, it develops you into a person that needs to come up from the forefront and, just be the one that's always there. And that's what this is. People talk about, experience, and that's what I need to do. I just need to get my stripes. And you don't go through this game without feeling pain and the best traders are the ones that are numb to the losses because they've gone through it. It's not like these guys are invincible and they never felt the pain that I feel. It's just they've experienced this so much that it doesn't really get to them as much, especially since they're, you know, profitable, right? Like, it's like when you watch MMA or boxing, you just think as a, you know, regular person, like, how in the world can they just sit in that ring, that octagon for that long, getting all of these punches thrown at them and still coming forward? It's because they've had several sparring sessions, several trainings, several times they've been hit in the head, several fights they've been hit in the head hard. And so after some time, you get numb to it. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but you get numb to it, right? And I always like to make this example. Like, when I first started playing NCAA on my laptop, NCAA 14 on my laptop in college, did y'all see that? I remember getting so caught up on every drop pass, on every pick that I would get, on everything. If I would lose, I would get so upset that I would quit the game and restart the entire game so that I can be a winner. And that was how I was for the longest of time. But over time, I stopped reacting like that. I remember the first time when I lost a game and was actually like, you know what, I'm gonna keep the L. I remember a time when my teams were 11-0, 13-0, 12-0, but in real reality, they should have been like 10-4, 9-5, you know what I mean, like that. But I just kept on quitting and replaying the game until I won. And I got to a point where I was undefeated, but I didn't feel undefeated. You know, it was fake. And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take every L, I'm gonna take it to the chin, and I'm just going to move on. And as I started to do that, I started to feel okay with every drop. I started to feel okay with every interception that I got, because it was just like, whatever, you know, because my gaming improved, my performance improved. And it's the same thing with trading. I can't fake it. There's like literally no way for me to fake it, you know? So I gotta take the L's, I gotta take the drop passes, I gotta take the interceptions, and I gotta keep on doing them. And because in the real reality, all of those things will always happen. Now when I play NCAA 14, I still get picks, I still deal with drop passes, but I don't care. When I get picked, I'm just like, damn, that's okay. I already know I'm gonna win. And that's the same mindset that I gotta go with trading. But in order for me to get to that point, I have to lose. I have to know what it's like. And I've improved in that sector, but not entirely. And yeah, that's just what I really need to improve on. It's like, and I have like how I dealt with losses in the beginning versus now is a huge difference. But I can't say it's night and day. But I've improved greatly, and that just goes to show that I just need to get more. I just need to lose more. I just need to get losses, and I just need to keep on coming back. Because the more I do that, the more I'll feel better. All right, let's see how that trade went, and then I'll let y'all know. I just made it back into the office, so hold on. Let's find out. Fuck. I'm gonna check right now. Fuck. It hit TP. Look at that. Talk about clutch, because like, look at what happened after. Oh shit. Bro, that's all we needed. Okay. I was a little bit iffy because of price action. It's been really shitty these past couple of days. Like, this week has not have been the best price action on ES, so I was a little bit like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad that it hit TP. I followed all my rules, even though I was scared. You know, I followed all my rules, and so, you know, I'm happy that I did that, and that's all that comes. All right, well, I'm back in the office. I just kind of wanted to make a video about that and, you know, share my stuff. If you like this content, if you liked what I said, don't forget to subscribe and like like and comment something about yourself that you know you want to get better at. What's something about you that you feel like if you just dealt with the losses or whatever it is, if you just dealt with that and handled those better, you would be great. Let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. All right.